It's a day that has left the rock world in shock, a silence that even the loudest guitar riffs can't break. Ace Frehley, the original Spaceman of Kiss, the man whose electrifying solos and cosmic stage persona defined an era, has passed away at the age of 74. Known for his wild energy, his signature makeup, and his fiery guitar performances, Ace's sudden death after a tragic studio accident has left fans and fellow musicians reeling in disbelief. The news broke early this morning when sources close to Frehley's family confirmed that the legendary guitarist had been found unresponsive in his home studio in Westchester County, New York. Initial reports suggest that the accident occurred while Ace was working late into the night on what was rumored to be his next solo album. Emergency services were called immediately, but despite efforts to revive him, Frehley was pronounced dead at the scene. Though details remain limited, it appears the incident was the result of a freak electrical malfunction, a tragic twist of fate for a man whose life revolved around amplifiers, soundboards, and electric guitars. Fans around the world have flooded social media with tributes, expressing their heartbreak over losing a musician who was more than just a guitarist. He was a symbol of rebellion, creativity, and rock and roll freedom. Ace Frehley wasn't just another member of a rock band. He was a game changer. Born Paul Daniel Frehley on April 27, 1951, in the Bronx, New York, Ace picked up the guitar as a teenager and quickly developed a distinctive sound that blended blues-inspired licks with futuristic flair. His raw energy and charisma caught the attention of Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, who were then forming what would become one of the most iconic rock bands of all time, Kiss. When Kiss exploded onto the scene in the early 1970s, they weren't just a band, they were an experience. With painted faces, elaborate costumes, and pyrotechnic shows that pushed the limits of stage production, Kiss became a cultural phenomenon. And at the heart of that spectacle stood Ace Frehley, his silver makeup shining under the stage lights, his guitar literally shooting sparks into the crowd. Ace's lead guitar work became a defining feature of Kiss's sound. His solos on songs like Shock Me, Detroit Rock City, and Love Gun are legendary, inspiring generations of young guitarists to pick up their own instruments. Shock Me was especially symbolic. Not only did Ace write and sing it, but it was also inspired by a real-life on-stage electrocution he suffered during a concert in 1976. Ironically, it would become one of his signature songs, a testament to his resilience and sense of humor. Despite Kiss's massive success, Ace Frehley's relationship with the band wasn't always easy. His struggles with alcohol and substance abuse, combined with creative disagreements, led to his departure from the band in 1982. Still, his influence never faded. Even during his time away from Kiss, Ace continued to make music on his own terms, launching a solo career that produced several critically acclaimed albums, including Frehley's Comet and Anomaly. His solo debut in 1978, released alongside solo projects from the other Kiss members, was the most successful of the four. The single New York Groove became a hit, proving that Ace could shine just as brightly on his own. He remained a cult favorite among fans who admired his authenticity and his refusal to conform to the commercial pressures of the music industry. In the late 1990s, Ace reunited with Kiss for their highly anticipated reunion tour, donning the Spaceman makeup once again and reigniting the band's legacy. The tour became one of the highest grossing in history, and for a brief moment, it felt like the magic of the 1970s had returned. But as always, creative tensions resurfaced, and Ace eventually parted ways with Kiss for good in the early 2000s. In recent years, Frehley had found peace in focusing on solo projects and collaborations. He continued to perform worldwide, meeting fans who had grown up idolizing him. His latest albums, including Spaceman, 2018, and Origins Volume 2, 2020, received warm reviews for capturing the raw spirit of classic rock while showcasing his matured musicianship. Friends and fellow artists have described Ace as a deeply passionate musician who lived for his art. Ace was one of a kind. Paul Stanley shared in a heartfelt post. He brought his own magic to Kiss. The sound, the look, the attitude. We may have had our differences, but I'll always be grateful for what he gave to the band and to rock and roll. Gene Simmons also expressed his grief, calling Ace a brother in music and a legend who could never be replaced. Ace Frehley's impact on rock music is immeasurable. His distinct tone, creative flair, and cosmic stage persona helped define not only Kiss, but the entire sound of 1970s hard rock. His influence stretches across generations, from heavy metal guitarists to modern rock icons, who cite him as an inspiration. More than anything, Ace embodied the spirit of what it meant to be a rock star, fearless, unpredictable, and larger than life. He wasn't afraid to take risks, musically or personally, whether it was setting his guitar ablaze on stage or pushing through personal struggles to create new music. Ace always gave his fans everything he had. His death marks the end of an era, but his music will continue to echo in arenas, bars, and bedrooms around the world. For fans, every time a Kiss record spins or a guitar solo screams through the speakers, Ace Frehley will live on. Forever the Spaceman, forever part of rock history. Funeral arrangements are expected to be announced in the coming days, with reports suggesting a private service for family and close friends, followed by a public memorial in New York City. Fans have already begun gathering outside the Kiss Museum and Ace's recording studio, leaving candles, flowers, and guitars as tributes to the man who helped shape their love for music. As the rock world mourns his passing, one thing is clear. Ace Frehley wasn't just a guitarist, he was a legend. His sound, his image, and his spirit will remain immortal. And even though the man behind the Spaceman suit has taken his final bow, his music ensures that his journey through the stars will never truly end.